to state that no brainees or insects were harmed in the making of this program, and that none of the training you're about to see be attempted unless under expert supervision.
8 brainees, 1 challenge. To use complex mass of 100 billion cells we call the brain for chance to win Brain-Jitsu Black Brain Belt. This is Brain-Jitsu. Born in Lancashire, trained in Japan, with mind as sharp as samurai sword, he is Brain Master. He is the sensei.
Konnichiwa, and welcome to Brain-Jitsu. Mental training specially designed to boost brain power and focus. My trainees, or brainees, have been following a basic programme of training in the comfort of their own home. A brain-boosting routine of exercise, sleep, and enough fruit and veg to stock a greengrocer's.
I thought the training was quite helpful because it helped me focus.
I'm really brainy. I like science and maths.
I've learnt how to use a different part of my brain that I don't usually use.
I really want the black belt.
Now my brainees must put their training into practice by testing a part of the brain we use every day.
Level 1, Yellow Vault.
Take a look at this tin of Brain-Jitsu beans. Now, try to find it amongst all the other tins. Spotted it? Congratulations! You've just used your occipital lobes. This area, the seeing part of our brain, allows us to recognise and separate images from each other. The 7 brainees who use their occipital lobes the best will be allowed to enter my Brain-Jitsu dojo, where their training will continue. The one who fails will be left outside. Oh, feel the burn.
Enter the dojo!
Our brainees must answer 4 questions by counting the different shapes on the board in front of them. Get the questions right and they'll be left with a 4-digit code, which they must then use to unlock a piece of brain and secure their place in the dojo. But with only 7 pieces of brain and 8 brainees, one of either Eleanor, Edward, Madalena, Tushan, Millie, George, Esme or Francesca will be left outside and eliminated. A bang of the gong reveals the 4 questions. How many blue shapes are there? How many small circles are there? How many triangles are there? How many squares are there? The answer our brainees are looking for is 6744. First off a stool is Madalena, with Tushan hot on her heels. As rapid as a rocket-powered rickshaw, Madalena is first to unlock a piece of brain. Tushan and Edward have also cracked the combination. But George has had to return to the noodle bar for a second helping. With Millie also holding a piece of brain, there are now just 4 brainees left. Don't forget, the code our brainees are searching for is 6744, because there are 6 blue shapes, 7 small circles, 4 triangles and 4 squares. In their hurry to find that code, our remaining brainees are beginning to let the pressure get to them. Come on, brainees, work those occipital lobes. At last, Francesca opens her lock, quickly followed by George. It's now a straight race between Eleanor and Esme for that last piece of brain, but Eleanor just gets in there first, and as her lock pops open, it's all over for Esme. While 7 have proven themselves worthy of entering the dojo and continuing their brain training, for Esme, it's the end of the road.
I feel a bit, obviously, upset, and I felt that I could have done better. I did quite a lot of training. I think I was a bit slow and I didn't really look at the questions right at the first time, but I think I did my best.
So with 6 levels to go, it's Madalena, Tushan, Edward, Millie, Francesca, George and Eleanor who receive their yellow brain belts.
I found the game very stressing and nervous to my brain. I was like a guinea pig. I was too nervous to go up and do the code. It was hard because I kept getting the code wrong. At first I thought it was one number, and then I realised it wasn't that number, it was another number, so I had to go back, and then I had to go back again, and then I realised it was another number. I want that black belt all the way. I really, really, really want it. I've got to get that black belt.
Brain-Jitsu!
In this next level of training, things are going to get really hard.
Level 2. Orange belt.
We do things every day without even thinking, like eating with a knife and fork. Now, try swapping them over, and see how you get on. I prefer chopsticks, me. If you manage to do that, you're using part of your brain that deals with problem solving, the frontal lobes. And that's what level 2 is all about. Taking something you normally do without thinking and doing it differently. Work it! To prepare them for using their frontal lobes in the next challenge, my brainees are gonna need some training.
Room of mental nourishment.
This is the room of mental nourishment, where our young hopefuls will train their brains between every task. The more seriously our brainees take their training, the better prepared they'll be for the challenges that lie ahead. And in level 2, that challenge is all about getting their brains to think in a new way.
Brain training. Cool. Okay, the task is taking in turns to call out the actions on your cards. Everyone has to do the opposite.
Right, let's get on with it. Be silent. Hey! Both palms up.
Spin around clockwise.
It's a steady start from our brainees. While not exactly speedy, at least they're remembering to do the opposite of every action.
Stand up. Left knee up.
For as the pace quickens, our brainees become as confused as a sumo wrestler entering into a beauty contest.
Sit down.
Time for a Brain-Jitsu brain tip.
Don't rush. Pause for 2 seconds to think before you react. That was a tip, not an action.
Yes, do pay attention, Francesca. You see, spending a moment to think before rushing in really can improve your focus and help you to perform better.
Both arms down.
While most still seem focused on their training, Francesca has become a bit feisty.
You got it wrong. Turn head right. You got it wrong.
I don't think that's going to help with anyone's focus.
The tip was just confusing because it made you think of everything at once, which is just too much.
I found the tip helpful because I think it would help us in the next round, because if you do something without thinking, especially if it's the opposite, you're more likely to get it wrong.
So, will Madalena's training indeed help with her concentration in the next round? And will feisty Francesca be able to keep her hands to herself? Time to find out as our 7 now put their frontal lobe training to the test. Guardian of the dojo and task adjudicator the Shihan will now demonstrate the level 2 challenge.
Confusing color challenge.
Brainees will take turn to stand in middle of confusing color challenge mat. Shihan then flip through 15 cards. On each card is name of color, ignoring actual word and focusing only on color that word is written in. Brainees must then jump with both feet onto matching circle. So, if see this, must jump on blue. Brainy will need to be on ball because Shihan will be turning over cards at fair old lick. Player with least number of correct color matches will be eliminated.
My brainy tip for this task is to focus the mind on just one letter and not the whole word. What's important here is not the word, but the colour that it's written in. Tushan takes to the mat. And despite the fast pace, he's doing well, focusing only on the colour the words are written in. So that's blue. That's green. And that's another blue. The gong sounds, and that looks like a good score. Exactly how good, we'll find out soon. Next up is Edward, whose training also looks to have paid off. Orange. Blue. Pink. One by one, our brainees take their turn on the mat. Despite the odd mistake, most seem to be using their brain training to good effect, furiously working those frontal lobes to help them separate the words from the colours. Well done, Eleanor. You should look pleased. But Madalena seems to be dancing to a different beat, not using both feet as the rules state, but just one. Next up is George, but with the she hand turning those cards faster than noodles round a chopstick, he appears to be struggling. Come on, George, keep that focus. No problems though for feisty Francesca. As nimble as a ninja, she's literally dancing her way around the mat, working those frontal lobes to the max. As the gong sounds for the last time, how have our 7 brainees done? With a brain-tastic 15 out of 15 correct matches, Eleanor is the round's top scorer, while George with 12 out of 15 is the brainee with the lowest score. But, as we saw, one of our brainees forgot the rules. All 7 were told that they had to jump onto the coloured circles using both feet. But Madalena clearly only used one foot throughout, allowing her to focus less on her feet and more on the cards. It's a costly mistake, because anyone who breaks the rules of a task faces automatic elimination. And so it's our level 1 winner, Madalena, who is first to enter the dojo and first to leave.
Walk of eternal regret.
When you're standing there and under pressure and on the spot, you sort of forget about what you've been told to do, and which is why it is. I'm quite disappointed, but I think it was fair. I think Francesca's quite a strong contender, and I also think Edward's quite a strong contender, because they're both quite competitive.
So, with 5 levels to go, it's Tushan, Edward, Millie, Francesca, George and Eleanor who receive their orange brain belts.
I've never been so relieved in my life. I was standing there, and when my name come out with 12, I'm like, that's it.
I think it was a real shame that Maddie went because George did get the lowest score, but rules have to be rules and they always come first.
And I was just like so lucky.
Brain-Jitsu. Brainy, not so brainy.
Who's the clever cloaks and whose brain needs a lot more training? Queen Elizabeth I, what a lady. She ruled for a whopping 45 years, a glittering reign known as the Golden Age. Not only did the Queen use her tactical brain to send the Spanish Armada packing, but she also outwitted her rivals for the throne. High five, Lizzie. Now meet Ying Zheng, first Emperor of China, a man obsessed with living forever. He sent out explorers to find a magic potion that would help him live for hundreds of years. But after taking the potion, he soon became ill and died. Always read the label. Brainy Queen Elizabeth I. Not so brainy Ying Zheng.
Brain-Jitsu.
Competition in Brain-Jitsu Dojo hotting up. Only 6 brainy remain to battle it out under watchful eye of Shihan. Eleanor, winner of last level. Cool, calm Edward. Tushan.
I'm really brainy. I like science and maths.
Millie, well placed in each round so far. George.
I want that black belt all the way. I really want it.
and feisty Francesca.
You got it wrong!
Challenges about to get even tougher. Only 2 brainy will make it to final test. Table of Supreme Focus, where must move ball with power of mind for chance to win Brain-Jitsu Black Brain Belt. It's time for Level 3 Result.
Now, we all like to chat, but did you know that using words to communicate is one of the main reasons why our brains have grown so incredibly powerful? And that having a conversation exercises both halves of the brain. Allow me to explain. Think of it like a policeman guiding traffic. While the drivers are focused on their own individual journeys, the policeman, he has to control all the cars and where they're going. It's the same with the brain. There's the left half, which deals with the details, and there's the right half, which looks at the overall picture. This next level of training strengthens my brainie's focus by working one half of their brain under pressure. Hey, pump it up!
Room of mental nourishment.
It's our brainie's second visit to the Room of Mental Nourishment, where once again they'll train in preparation for their next challenge, which, remember, is all about using the 2 halves of the brain to communicate.
Brain training. Each put a body part onto the sumo wrestler. Another brainy must direct the blindfolded brainy. Only 3 instructions.
First up are Francesca and Eleanor, but Eleanor soon gets herself into a muddle.
Turn right.
I think you'll find that's left, Eleanor.
Stick it on.
And things don't improve much when Francesca slips on the blindfold.
He looks like he's got an itch.
Yes, thank you, George. That's quite enough of that. Next, it's Millie and Tushan's turn.
Right a bit.
And like Eleanor, Millie's also struggling to get the left side of her brain out of first gear.
Stick it on.
Oh, time for a training tip.
Develop a system of measurements. How many hand widths or up or down?
So, armed with this new technique, how will Tushan and George get on?
Take a big foot forward. Reach up about medium height. Right about 5 centimeters.
Stick it down.
Stick it down.
The answer seems to be pretty well. By giving George just that little bit of extra information, he's helped his partner create something that looks vaguely human. Try something similar the next time you're telling a story. By adding a bit of extra detail, you'll find that you'll communicate it much better.
It does look okay for a beginner's try, but I think much could be improved though.
I think we all found it as just like sort of a laugh, and we just like made it easy and didn't really focus very hard.
So, will Eleanor work out her left from her right in time for the next task? Will Edward find his focus? And will jovial George still be smiling when their pressure is really on? It's time to find out as our 6 now put their communication training to the test.
Hands through number 2.
This is test of communication skill. So, 6 brainy must first divide into teams of 2 by drawing chopsticks. Quickly as possible, teams must punch 6 buckets containing number that go to make sum. Pairs must decide who is guider, who is puncher. Puncher is blindfold and relying on guider to help find bucket. When all 6 bucket punched, brainy stop a clock by shouting Brain-Jitsu. Quicker they punch bucket, more time they have to pick up number and make sum. When brainy happy with answer, hit gong. First 2 teams to work out correct answer get green belt and advance to next level. 1 brainy from losing team will be eliminated.
The key to success here is for the guider to use the right side of their brain to follow their teammates' progress and give them clear instructions. For their partner, it's vital they use the left side of their brain to focus on these instructions and nothing else.
Take 2 steps steps forwards. All right, to your left. Other left. Right, to your right. Punch.
First to put their communication training to the test are Francesca and Millie.
Right again. A smaller step this time. All right, left a little bit.
With feisty Francesca calling the shots and Millie following her lead, the pair quickly find their groove, working one half of the brain each to great effect.
Forwards. All right, a bit more. And punch. Backwards a bit. Backwards. Yep, perfect. Move a bit to your right. Punch. Brain-Jitsu.
Francesca stops the clock at 1 minute 27 seconds. It's a knockout performance, but the girls will have to wait to find out how much extra time it's bought them to make their sum.
Go forward until I tell you to stop. Stop.
Next up is Edward and Tushan. In training, Tushan showed most improvement, but back then he was guiding. Now he's punching. Have the boys made a tactical error?
Left. Left. Back. Punch. Punch again.
Possibly, yes, as Tushan's punches land wide of the mark.
Punch again. Punch. Brain-Jitsu.
Still, the boys stop the clock at 1 minute 28 seconds, just 1 second behind Francesca and Millie.
Forward, right.
Last to punch are Eleanor and George. Perhaps wisely, given his height advantage, it's Jovial George who's grabbed the glove.
Now move your arm a bit forwards. Now punch. Oh, move to the side.
Move to the side? Eleanor seems to have forgotten her training, expecting George to guess which direction.
Move forwards. Punch.
With George looking more punch-drunk than punch-tastic, the pair stop the clock after a whopping 2 minutes 44 seconds.
Brain-Jitsu.
As the fastest team, it's Francesca and Millie who set off first to find their numbers. Here's what our brainees are looking for. Can you work out the answer in your head? Remember, the first 2 teams to work it out will go through to the next level. In almost no time at all, the girls bang their gong. Just ahead of Edward and Tushan, with Eleanor and George trailing behind. But do the answers add up? 20 plus 8 equals 28. 28 divided by 2 equals 14. Our teams have found the right answer, but as the last to finish, it's Eleanor and Jovial George who'll be battling it out to avoid elimination in the...
Stare off.
With just 1 green belt up for grabs, both brainees must use all their powers of focus to fight the urge to blink. The first to falter will be eliminated. As wide-eyed as a pair of kids in a video arcade, our brainees are refusing to back down. But it's George who goes from think to blink, while Eleanor survives to fight another day. For Jovial George, it's time to hand over his orange brain belt and leave the dojo.
Walk of eternal regret.
I think Eleanor and I did well as a team when we had to punch the bucket things. I think the communication, that was brilliant. I was really confident about the stealth and then it all went. My eyes started probably stinging. I tried to keep them open and then I blinked.
So, with 4 levels to go, it's Tushan, Edward, Millie, Francesca and Eleanor who line up for their green belts.
I'm so relieved to be through to the next round because at first I thought I was going to go out.
I think the training really helped me and Millie to do well in the round because we had to communicate together, and I think that sort of had a special bond which helped us get through.
Brain-Jitsu.
Level 4. Move out!
This 4th level requires our brainees to master a primitive part of the brain called the amygdala, the area that responds to threat. Remember the last time you felt afraid or panicky? Perhaps you're on a ghost train at a fairground. Well, that feeling was triggered by the old amygdala. Stress can make you lose focus. Fact. Which is why my brainees must train to keep their emotions under control.
Room of mental nourishment.
We're back in the room of mental nourishment, and it's time for our 5 remaining green belt holders to overcome their fear and stay focused.
Brain training. Form a circle. Pass a disgusting brain boost drink around the circle, only passing it on when you have said a different word relating to the last word someone says. After 1 minute, the brainy holding the drink has to drink it.
Drink what, I hear you ask? Well, the answer is a cup of slimy seaweed.
It's just seaweed.
Quite right, Edward. It might smell like a sumo's sweaty sock, but it's only seaweed.
Icky.
Grotesque.
So, which of our brainees will remember this, and which will let their amygdalas get the better of them? Millie's had a complete mental block. Just the thought of the drink of stink is stopping her from thinking of another word.
3, 2, 1.
I'm finding it hard to think of a word.
How about slimy?
Nasty? Nasty. My guinea pig cage.
Oh, the minute's up, and it's Tushan who has to drink the gruesome glop. Well, there's one consolation. At least seaweed is good for the old grey matter.
I cannot believe you just drank that.
Whatever this is very spicy and disgusting.
Time for a training tip.
Tip. Concentrate. Try to blank out the time and fear of the drink to avoid panicking.
Cat. Dog.
Mouse.
Focusing only on the task in hand is useful advice for almost any situation in which you feel nervous. The calmer you are, the better you'll perform.
Guinea pig.
Gerbil.
Hamster.
Our 5 brainees have another go at word association. This time, reeling off one animal after another until Francesca trips up.
Mouse.
That's what I said.
So who votes that she should drink it?
Trust me, it's icky. And it's like spicy. I told you.
Someone pass me that water.
It was the smell of it and everything. Just the look of it was really disgusting, so it was distracting you from what you were supposed to be doing.
I'm a little bit scared of the task, but not that much, because my only fear is that of heights.
Will her training help Millie keep her anxiety under control? Will Edward continue to be one cool customer? And will feisty Francesca be able to block out the memory of that seaweed? It's time to find out, as our 5 are challenged to overcome their fears once again.
Creepy crawly word grab.
This level, real test of mind over matter for brainees, and will push them to really overcome their fear. Underneath the creepy crawlies lie an assortment of letters worth different points. Brainees have just 1 minute to plunge hands into tank and pick out up to 7 letters each. They then have a further minute to make higher scoring word they can.
To do well, my brainees must block out the signals coming from their amygdala and ignore the creepy crawlies. The quicker they combat their fear, the more time they'll have to pick out the high-scoring letters. Underneath this pile of worms are an extra 5 golden letters. If our brainees manage to use one in their word, they'll double their score.
This is okay. I'm fine with this.
Oh, brave words from Francesca. Let's see if our other brainees have also remembered their training. Our brainees dive in, pushing the worms aside to get to the letters underneath.
This doesn't feel like worms, that's so
Nice tactic, Tushan. By telling himself that the worms feel like something else, he's cleverly allowing himself to focus on just the letters. Meanwhile, Eleanor has found one of the golden letters. If she can just make a word, she'll double her score. But Millie has only got 2 letters, and as with her training, appears to be struggling with both the fear factor and the added time pressure. The minute's up. Our brainees now have a further minute to make the highest scoring word they can from their letters. Loud? I don't think you'll find that in the dictionary, Eleanor. He might look calm, but Edward still only managed to pluck out 4 letters, compared to Tushan's 7. See if you can make a word from the anagram on the screen now. There's the final gong. How have our brainie's done?
Bay.
With a golden A in his word, that's a big fat 14 points for Tushan.
Is.
Just 2 points for cool calm Edward.
A.
And only 1 for Millie.
Yow.
A quick check by the Sheehan, and it's 10 points for feisty Francesca.
Road.
And with that golden A in her word, it's also 10 points for Eleanor. And so, by only scoring a single point, it's Millie who must leave the dojo.
Walk of eternal regret.
Well, I think it was difficult because I just couldn't put my hand in it. It was just so horrible. And when I did, it was all cold and slimy and everything. It was just horrible. I think Francesca will win because she is very strong and she'll always want to reach the level that she'll get to, and she'll make sure that she will get it.
So, with 3 levels to go, those who use their minds to master the mealworms are duly rewarded with their blue brain belts.
I was helped by the training a bit because it helped me to actually go closer to the maggots and make myself actually touch the letters. If it weren't for the training, I just wouldn't even be near it.
I'm really, really, really relieved to be in the final 4. It's a great achievement. I helped everybody in there. I don't know why. I just cleared all the worms, and I thought they were ice cream, so I just cleared it. And then everybody just started picking from the middle.
Brain-Jitsu. Brainy, not so brainy.
Who's the clever clogs and whose brain needs a lot more training? The Goggle Box, what an invention. And it's all down to this geezer from Bonnie, Scotland, Mr. John Logie Baird. John was too ill to fight in the First World War, so he spent 10 years tinkering with electronics until bingo!
Bingo!
He goes and discovers a way of sending pictures through thin air, and TV was born. Truly visionary. Oi, look, it's John Logie Baird again. Did you know that before he invented television, he faffed around trying to make diamonds by heating graphite? That's the stuff you get in pencils. So, did it work? Did it heck? He cut off Glasgow's power supply. Are you grit numpty? Brainy John Logie Baird. Not so brainy John Logie Baird.
Brain-Jitsu.
Tension in Brain-Jitsu dojo mounting. Just 4 young hopeful remain to compete under watchful eye of Sheehan. Cool, calm Edward. Cheerful Tushan, always smiley even under pressure.
I found the game very stressing and nervous to my brain.
Eleanor, level 2 winner. And feisty Francesca.
Rules have to be rules, and they always come first.
Only 2 brainy will make final showdown. Table of supreme focus. Where must move ball with power of mind. The Brain-Jitsu black brain belt is within the grasp. It's time for level 5. Red Bolt!
If you're learning how to Morris dance, then you might be interested to know that your new hobby is doing wonders for your old grey matter. Exercising both the thinking part of the brain, the cerebrum, and the doing part, the cerebellum. You see, doing new things increases the flow of blood into your head, which keeps your brain cells topped up with the oxygen they need to perform at their best. So, in level 5, my brainies are going to be challenged to learn new skills. Now, you can speed up how quickly the brain takes in new stuff. And this is what our brainies are going to train for now.
Room of mental nourishment.
It's our brainies' 4th visit to the room of mental nourishment, where they'll be training their brains in how to learn new skills.
Our brain training today is to flick the beanbag from the top of your head to the back of your neck. Yay! Is that my neck? Oh my! That is the worst.
With Francesca sending the jelly beans flying and the others also struggling, it looks as though our brainees are finding this challenge tough. Eleanor in particular is struggling to get both the thinking part and the doing part of her brain working in harmony.
See, I got him in it. That rolled down my back.
Oh dear, time for a training tip, I think.
Okay, here's a tip. Be confident in yourself. Look in the mirror and tell yourself you can do it.
Don't you think it's a bit vain looking yourself in the mirror?
But don't you do that every day to, like, design your face?
Makeup.
Makeup,
No,
yeah.
I don't wear makeup.
You do. No, I don't.
It might seem weird telling yourself that you're wonderful, but self-confidence really can help the brain to master new skills. Where the brain's concerned, there's no such word as can't.
I can do it.
I think I can do it.
I can do it.
Oh, I'm good at swimming. I'm a fantastic trapeze artist.
They might not be perfect just yet, but at least our brainees are starting to believe in themselves. Except Eleanor, that is, who's struggling to think of anything positive to say.
The tip really helped me. It did quite, because I always think like that. I can do it rather than think I can't do it.
It's very strange to talk about yourself in a flattering manner.
So, will her training help Eleanor to find her confidence in time for the next task? Or will her fellow brainees force her elimination from the dojo? Only time will tell as our four now put their latest brain training to the test.
Chop, chop, don't drop.
To win Red Brain Belt, brainees must remain mentally confident as they learn new physical skill. Remaining four must keep ball in airflow and guide it along obstacle course, through hoops and into basket. It is race against clock, but brainees must remain confident. There is 5-second penalty every time ball drops. Brainy with slowest time will be eliminated.
The tip for my brainees in this next task is to remain calm and think positive thoughts. Giving in to frustration will only lessen their focus and slow them up. So, will our brainees remember their training and stay positive, or will they let the pressure get to them? Looking as rickety as a rickshaw, it's a bit of a slow start for cheerful Tushan. But he quickly finds his rhythm. Brim full of confidence, Tushan's making light work of these obstacles and even slam dunks his basket. Next to go with the flow is cool, calm Edward. But it looks as though he's getting a little hot under the collar, struggling to make any headway at all. It's a better finish, but will his slow start have cost him dear? Never short on confidence, feisty Francesca sets off at a fair old lick. But a bit of basket trouble is costing her valuable time. Looking a little nervous after a shaky performance during training, it's Eleanor's turn. But once up and running, her training kicks in, and incredibly, Eleanor drops her ball only the one time. But with the basket at her mercy, it all starts to go horribly wrong. Yes, you can, Eleanor. It's all about confidence. At last, Eleanor finds the basket, stopping the clock. Which brainee flowed too slow? With 3 time penalties, Tushan finished in 1 minute 22 seconds. Racking up 8 penalties, Edward got round in 1 minute 29 seconds. With 5 penalties, feisty Francesca raced around in 1 minute 6 seconds. And with her disastrous finish earning her 6 time penalties, Eleanor finished in 1 minute 30 seconds. So, by a solitary second, it's Eleanor who's eliminated and must now leave the dojo.
of eternal regret.
I found the brain training before quite difficult, so maybe that's why I didn't really do very well in the challenge. I never even expected to get up to orange belt or things, and I got all the way up to blue, so it was really good to get this far.
With 2 levels to go, that leaves just cheerful Tushan, cool calm Edward and feisty Francesca to stand proud in red.
Well, it's really great because I won one for the girls. Because every single one's gone but me. So boys better watch out.
Me and Edward won more games than Francesca. She's going down. I won like 2 games and Edward's won 1. It was in the teamwork game. And so we're gonna come back.
I want the black belt so much that I'd do like anything for it.
Brain-Jitsu!
Level 6, prawn boat!
It's this level which will decide which 2 of my remaining brainees will go on to battle it out
For the black belt.
Imagine you're about to kick a conversion in an important rugby match. As well as remembering your technique, there might be a strong wind blowing. Plus, there's a big crowd watching you. It's remembering stuff like this under pressure that level 6 is all about. It centres around 3 areas of the brain. The seeing part, the occipital lobes, the memory part, the temporal lobes, and the movement part, the cerebellum. To the max.
Room of mental nourishment.
Our 3 surviving brainees are back in the room of mental nourishment, this time for a dose of memory training.
Alright guys, here's the brain training. Memorize the train map. This is gonna be fun. Okay, we made up a funny rhyme. Glasgow, Belfast, Stratford. If I can read it.
Middlesbrough, Barnsley, Bristol.
Oh, so it could be G to the B to the S to the M. B, B, T, E.
No.
While Francesca seems pretty confident of her memory method, the boys aren't so sure.
You might get confused with the B's. You might go Bristol there, Barnsley there. Each of us memorised one track. So like, I'll memorise that one, which goes to Edinburgh to Brighton. And
I'll do the Glasgow.
Yeah, and you do the London.
Glasgow, Belfast, Stratford, Barnsley.
Nice try, Francesca, but time for a training tip, I think.
Guys, for the tip, split the tasks. Memorize a train line each.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we were doing.
Indeed it is, Tushan. It's also a great way of exercising your brain.
Ready, Brighton. Ready.
The next time you're out shopping with your family, try dividing up your shopping list and see if between you can remember everything on it.
Edinburgh.
Yeah.
I think I've memorized mine.
Even so, Francesca's still struggling.
Glasgow, Belfast, Stratford, Bristol, Barnsley, Bristol.
Middlesbrough.
Oh, yeah.
No such problems for Edward, though.
London, Oxford, Cambridge, Leicestershire.
Leicestershire. No, it's Leicester.
Nottingham, Preston, Newcastle.
Well done.
I'm feeling confident about the game that's going to come up because my brain's generally very good at memorizing things.
Boys are gonna win the next challenge.
We'll see.
So, will feisty Francesca get her memory back on track? Or will cheerful Tushan's prediction of male mental mastery come true? Only time will tell as our final 3 put their memory training to the test for one of 2 brown brain belts and a place on the table of supreme focus.
Super Memory Dizzy Dash.
Brainy is spin around on dizzy wheel, total of 10 times, while using all power of focus to memorize 5 images in front of them. Then must race against clock to cross balancing beam and collect 5 images they have not seen from the 10 hanging above them. Then must arrange in alphabetical order. When Brainy happy with selection, hit the gong to stop clock.
My tip for the brainees is to keep focused on the main objective and use their training to link the 5 images together. So, as our final three brave the dizzy wheel, will their memory training help them to remember the images and ignore the effects of being spun round like tadpoles in a tumble dryer? Looking just a little unsteady, Tushan staggers off. Here are the images he's looking for. Don't forget, our brainees must fight their dizziness and pick out the 5 images they didn't see on the wheel, arranging them in alphabetical order. For every one they get wrong, it's a 5-second penalty. The brainee with the slowest time will be eliminated from the dojo. Here are those images again, and it looks like Tushan has found a pineapple from somewhere, a mistake that could prove costly. Next to step off the dizzy wheel is Cool Calm Edward. Not even hesitating to select his 5 images, this looks like another confident display of memory from the young brainee. A little pause to consider whether alphabetically giraffe comes before guitar, and Edward bangs his gong. Last up is feisty Francesca, showing great focus. She plucks out her images in no time. But for some reason, she's placed her apple between the giraffe and the guitar. Either she's forgotten that the cards need to be in alphabetical order, or she's never seen an apple before. Francesca bangs her gong, but with penalty points of certainty, has she been fast enough to secure her place in the final showdown? Let's find out. With 1 penalty, Tushan finished in 1 minute 35 seconds. With no penalties, Edward finished his task in a quick-fire 1 minute 3 seconds. While Francesca picked up 3 penalties for her mistake, giving her a time of 1 minute 23 seconds, which means she survived, and it's Tushan who must hand over his brain belt and leave the dojo.
Walk of eternal regret.
I feel fine because I think I made a mistake spending too much time trying to put it in order. The training helped me quite a lot. I did memorize everything correctly. I'm really feeling sad because I really wanted the black belt. Edward's gonna get the black belt because he's much smarter than Francesca and he's a boy.
So with just 1 level to go, that leaves Cool Calm Edward and feisty Francesca to don their brown brain belt and prepare for the final showdown.
I'm so happy. I knew I got it wrong in the tomato. I thought it was a tomato, but it was actually an apple.
Just like, I made it through the finals. I'm gonna win it for the boys.
Edward better watch out because Francesca's here.
Brain-Jitsu.
8 young hopeful arrived at Brain Training Dojo to fight for Brain-Jitsu Black Brain Belt. As training got tougher, so brainees fell by wayside. Some lack focus. Others crack under pressure. Now, just 2 remain. Francesca, feisty and focused.
Well, it's really great because I won one for the girls. Because every single one's gone but me. So boys better watch out.
And Cool Calm Edward, winner of last level.
I want the black belt so much. That I'd do like anything for it.
But who will use brain training to max to win this last challenge? Level 7, black belt!
So, this is it. Between my 2 remaining brainees and the black belt stands Brain-Jitsu's ultimate challenge. A mental duel that is head-to-head in every sense. The battlefield? A table. But not just any table. For this, my friends, is the table of supreme focus, where our 2 brainees will attempt to move a ball across the table using only the power of their mind. By getting this far, they've already demonstrated mental control under many different types of pressure. But now they must learn to focus their minds by entering a state of total calm. To prepare them, my two finalists will need to get into the zone.
Room of mental nourishment.
I made it through!
In this, their sixth and final visit to the room of mental nourishment, our last two brainees are about to train in how to stay focused no matter what's happening around them.
All right, here's the brain training chip. Mentally prepare yourself for the final task. Don't let the sounds put you off. Oh, they're gonna monkeys here.
Francesca looks as though she's using her breathing to help her shut out the noise, while cool, calm Edward looks to be in some sort of a trance. Good focus, brainees. I'm not sure these two need a training tip, but here's one anyway.
For the tip, breathe in slowly through your nose. Feel the passage of the air and count to 5. Breathe out slowly through your mouth, counting to 5. Repeat.
I was already doing that.
But hold on, feisty Francesca has more words of wisdom up her sleeve.
To focus really, you just need to make yourself comfortable. And I think closing your eyes really helps. Just being...
Like Tai Chi.
Yeah, a bit like that. You know, when you breathe in and you're just like...
I think that tip that told me to be calm was useful because if you panic, you normally can't do anything.
This round, I'm a lot more confident, and I think I'll definitely do well and win the black belt.
While both our brainees have responded well to their training, will they be just as calm when the pressure is on to win that elusive black belt?
Table of supreme focus.
Rules are simple. Each brainee must push ball to the opponent's end of table, using only power of mind. Sensors in brainees' headbands measure brainwaves. This is converted into electrical signal, which moves ball. More focused mind, stronger signal, and faster ball will travel. See how brainees are doing on this readout. 2 lines represent each player's brainwaves. Lower the line, more concentrated their mind.
To make sure this is the test of all tests, our brainees must win the best of 3 rounds. So this is the big one. Our 2 finalists must use all their brain training to enter their zone of absolute focus. This is the reason they came to the dojo. This is the moment they've been training for. It's feisty Francesca who's the first to get the ball moving. But cool and calm as ever, Edward's doing his best to fight back. Once again though, Francesca gets the upper hand. But wait, Francesca's black brainwave is now all over the place. Her focus seems to have vanished. It's 1-0 to Edward, and feisty Francesca will have to call on all her training to help her rediscover her focus if she's not to be eliminated. Round 2, and you can see from the low flat lines on the readout that both our brainees are really using their new breathing techniques to maximise focus. This time it's Francesca who gets the upper hand, levelling the score at 1 apiece. It's all down to the final round. This is now a test of mental endurance as much as anything else. Who will cope best with the brain strain? With both brainwaves virtually identical, our 2 brainees are fully focused, but it's Francesca who's got the edge, her black brainwave just below Edward's. It's all over, and it's Francesca who's emerged triumphant. In a truly epic battle of concentration and focus, her training has paid off. Francesca has proved herself to be a master of the mind and worthy winner of the Brain-Jitsu black belt.
I was just thinking, ball, ball, ball. And I sort of just looked at the ball and I didn't see anything else. My heart is still beating so fast.
But glory for one brings disappointment for another. And although he fought bravely, Edward must now leave the dojo.
Walk of eternal regret.
I think if I just looked at the ball and nothing else, not even the table, I would have concentrated hard enough to win. I thought I had a good chance of getting the black belt, but at the end of the day, I didn't get it.
What a triumph for Francesca. 1-0 down on the table of Supreme Focus, this feisty brainy refused to give up. Drawing on all her brain training to date, she came back to snatch the Brain-Jitsu black brain belt right from under Edward's nose.
Yes! Yeah! I feel absolutely brilliant. I can't believe I won. During this journey, I never thought I'd be standing here right now. But in the beginning, I didn't do that well. And in the second round, I thought I was going to be out. I've always done average in pretty much everything. But this time, I'm above average. And it just makes me feel great.
Our journey has come to an end. Another brainy has proven themselves worthy to wear the Brain-Jitsu black belt. But while Brain-Jitsu might represent the most extreme form of brain training, its philosophy can be shared by all. Each and every one of you has it in your power to grow your mind. All it takes is dedication and practice. This has been
Brain-Jitsu.
Welcome to the Cartoon Works. Come inside to see CBBC's top cartoons and get a sneaky peek at some new stuff. But that's not all. We've got a whole factory to explore. Let me show you around. There's loads of games in our production line. If you're good enough and you spot all the hidden clues, you might even get to be boss. The Cartoon Works needs new recruits. Come and join us at bbc.co.uk/CBBC.
What are you doing there, Jeff Meister?
I'm looking to see when the next bank holiday is so I can get ready for another invasion of annoying furry mammals.
Oh, that's a bit harsh. I mean, yeah, Barney Harwood is furry, but I wouldn't call him annoying.
No, I'm talking about what happened at Easter, you know, the bank holiday hare and the April Fool's Day moose and all that. The place has smelled like a zoo ever since.
Well, try and shower more in future.
Hello!
Oi! Are you the Easter Bunny?
Well, do I look like the Easter Bunny?
In literally no way.
No, I'm starting to doubt myself a bit.
As well you should, for I am not he. I am the Halloween fox. Ooh!
The Halloween fox. Woo. I didn't know Halloween had a seasonal animal.
Oh, yeah. You'll find every holiday has some sort of festive animal.
Oh, come on. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, next thing you'll be saying there's a Mother's Day goose or something.
No. It's the Mother's Day seagull, actually. Although he's off work at the moment. He took a funny turn.
I don't approve of your pun.
No. Well, next you'll say there's a Father's Day termite.
He's a very good friend of mine, actually.
Oh,
really?
come on. You can't be serious. Are you actually saying there's a seasonal animal for every holiday?
Oh, yeah. For every holiday you can name, there is an animal like me for it. I, gentlemen, am the generic bank holiday hare.
What?
This government is very alarmed with the sudden rise in holiday animals. I mean, the Halloween fox is one thing, but the Valentine's Day meerkat, the August bank holiday crocodile, this is just getting out of hand.
Well, what's the government doing about it?
Phasing them out. They believe that one generic bank holiday animal will suffice and is more cost efficient.
Come in.
Yo!
It is
the bunnies in the house!
Yeah, no, it's not. I think it's the Easter Bunny.
What?
I said the Easter Bunny's in the house. Let me hear you say, yeah!
You're the Easter Bunny? Not really what I was expecting.
Hey, you're saying there's something funny about the way I look? And when the Easter Bunny's in the house, I want to hear you say, yeah!
Yes.
Yeah!
Yes.
Yeah!
Yes.
Yeah! I'm the flyest bunny you ever saw. You don't like it, you can kiss my paw. Kiss it.
No. But you do have a certain roguish charm about you. I like your necklace.
So you should do, Stretch. It's 24 carat. Now make me a salad sandwich.
No. Listen, Mr. Bunny, I've got a little bone to pick with you. You didn't bring me a chocolate egg in 2004. You didn't bring me one this. In fact, you have never brought me a chocolate egg. What's that all about?
Hey, don't go blaming the bunny. The bunny's too big to deliver his own eggs.
Well, who delivers your eggs then?
I get my chickies to do it.
Well, then your chickies forgot about me.
I don't think so. My chickies are working off a list. That's right. Santa's not the only one who's got a list. Huh? Yeah, right there, I tell you. For Jefferson, Excelsior Turner, please leave the eggs in the care of Daniel Veronica Claxon. Now make me a salad sandwich.
I can't believe you do this to me, Dan.
Really? It does sound like something I do.
CBBC